do you like saving money on the stuff you put inside of your office to do your dentisting thing? I'm here with the awesome Yasin from GroupUps, an amazing sponsor who has helped Dental Nachos dentists do literally their favorite thing, save money on stuff. So Yasin, tell our group, how do you help dentists? How does GroupUps help dentists save money on stuff?
Hey, thanks, Paul. Thanks for having us. Yeah, it's really simple. It's straightforward. We collect purchasing intent of big purchases. We find out what people happen to be buying. We identify when there's an opportunity to group them together. And we go to the distributors and manufacturers, we get them all involved, and we ask for proposals based on the amount of aggregate demand we have from everybody.
Awesome. And I mean, it's something that dentistry is needed sooner. Tell us, I mean, you're coming from you weren't born into dentistry. You've come to help save us on money. What has been some of the traditional challenges dentists have had to saving money on the things you help them with? CBCTs, handheld x-rays, autoclaves. What have been some of those challenges traditionally in our profession?
So when you think about selling to a large number of people, when you think about selling a contract, if you're doing B2B sales, if you're selling to a big organization, one point of contact can get you a massive contract as a salesperson. Or if you're selling to small business owners, by the time it takes you to amass the same amount of business that one large contract got you, you need to talk to 30 business owners. It costs more to do business. It's not as profitable. So what we do is we make it easier for these organizations to sell to independently owned practices, which means that the price goes down because the price that these large organizations are paying, these DSOs, is much lower across the board than anything that an independently owned practice is paying.
Also, so you're giving private practices the power of DSO pricing. You know, it's funny, yes, and I'm doing a big event next week on DSOs, private practices, why both are doing great things, why both need improvement. You know, it's a big both and thing like Gary Vee. But, you know, private practice dentists will sometimes say, I would never sell to a DSO, or I don't want DSOs, but go, do you want DSO pricing on supplies? I go, yes, that I want, right? I want DSO pricing. So I love that you guys can provide large group practice pricing. You have some success stories inside of our community. You don't necessarily have to mention names, but you've helped dentists. What are some of the examples of things that you've helped them save $1, $2, $3, $5,000 on?
Yeah, I mean, we've done tons for the Nachos community already. Some people have posted about what we've done for them, which is really cool. Thank you. Yeah, GroupUps is really happy with the people that we've helped. And I think people are really happy with GroupUps. So one of my favorites is a CBCT bundle that started at $70,000 from, I won't say the distributor, but we negotiated that down to $60,000. And the $70,000 wasn't a terrible starting price. It was average. All the other distributors were selling it for the same. We got that down to 60. Then we took it to other distributors and we got it all the way down to 47 for this bundle. So that's one of my favorite stories to tell because we saved $23,000 for this one doctor. And the doctor knew that we only get paid if we save them money. So when we're so transparent about how we make money, I do not mind telling anybody on a live stream how we make money. We take a percentage of whatever we save you. That's it. So that's one of my favorite stories because it was one of the early validators to the dental community that, wow, we can do this and we can make it work. And other ones include entire startup practices, people that are expanding offices. Right now, we're working with, I think, 17 practices that are expanding. They're not even startups. They're redoing their entire ops. So we're doing chairs, we're doing lights, we're doing everything you could potentially need in an op. And we're saving them money because you're talking about 17 practices. Yeah. So we can talk to the distributors and say, hey, remember me? I just did a deal with you for 50 handhelds last month. Well, now I need help with a startup practice. They're about to spend $200,000. And guess what? We whittle that cost down from 200,000 to 190, to 180, to 170. It works.
And I love this story, and I love what you guys are doing. And maybe this will be a good analogy. You know, if I want someone to save me on a vacation next week, they can do that, but they have to work really fast. If I tell them I'm going to go on vacation in 6 months, they have time to plan on how to save me. Do you work similarly? Like, we're going to share your landing page. People can text group to 215-543-6454. But what should Dental Nachos dentists do right now if they don't need to save money tomorrow, but they have a purchase coming up that they're thinking about?
So there are two customer profiles that we help the most with. The first one are the startups that have time to figure out what they're going to be buying. They're going to let us know in advance, and this is the key. Let us know in advance. Let us know now what you're planning to purchase over the next 12 months. For startups, that's pretty easy. That lets us figure out what commonalities we have in the entire network, and it lets us leverage and maximize our buying power and our negotiating power. Our leverage increases when we find out from the more and more practices what they are looking to buy. Because guess what? We want the distributors, the manufacturers, we want them to see dollar signs. They're going to be smaller dollar signs to each doctor, but it's going to be a larger group. So that's conceptually, that's what we do. So we want to know what you're purchasing as a practice over the next 12 months. What you might be purchasing is even helpful.
Well, this is what you have to say. Yes, I know to talk dentist to dentist. I'll give you some things. Say, we want to, just like when your patients do a large case, we want to help you treatment plan the best way to save. Because what drives dentists nacho nuts, Yasin, is when someone comes in and says, I need my 10 teeth redone. Say, okay, cool. When? For my daughter's wedding? No big deal. When's that? Next week. You know, it just puts so much pressure on us to say, I'm going to help you treatment plan, and use that example, because all of us have had these scenarios where someone says, I need my teeth whiter for a wedding. I need to look better next week. And they put pressure on the provider or dentist. And if you give us some time, we can create the best treatment plan. It sounds like if you're a startup, you should connect with you now. If you're going to redo an operatory, connect with you now. When people go to this page, groupups.com/request group up. My team will put this in the chat. Is it a long form? Do they fill out? Do they jump on a call with you? Tell us more about that.
It's a pretty quick form. We just ask a few questions up front, and then we have a few follow-up questions. Sometimes we'll jump on a call if we need more clarity, but honestly, we text most of our doctors. Most of our doctors are completely fine texting us. We have a group text number, and we chat back and forth with that. My whole team monitors it, so we're always on the same page about things. So we text. It's a really quick, probably like 1 minute form that you fill out. Let us know what you're buying, what you're looking for, and then it's all gravy from there. Send us your quotes, whatever quotes you want us to take a look at. That helps us a lot leverage and exercise our buying power as well. Because I want to talk about the second scenario. So because we talked about telling us up front what you need over the next 12 months, and that is ideal. That doesn't mean we can't help you if you do need something within a week.
Right.
We have done that multiple times as well. The cool thing is we've been doing this at a decent enough volume where now we can just make 1 or 2 calls, and we basically already have pre-negotiated pricing on equipment, and we can get very, very quickly a quote back to you based on what your need is, and it's going to be cheaper than what you can find on your own or from your reps 90% of the time.
Yeah, and I love that. So I mean, and you are truly going to bat for the dentist to save them money, and you're transparent about what you do. And I think as every year I'm on this earth, yes, and I become less frugal in this way. Time is just such a valuable commodity. And I mean, you know, in a I don't know, a dad way, it's to spend with your daughters or do this, but sometimes it's just to stay sane, right? Like sometimes if I have free time, I don't necessarily want to try to be saving on supplies, and I'm not even good at it. So I mean, you can outsource this savings to you. So is there anything that you would like to remind our community about before we wrap up? I want to share that you've helped Dental Nachos dentists save money. They can text group to 215-543-6454 to get this landing page and how you can help them as a sponsor. But did I miss anything that you'd like to share with our audience?
No, I just touch upon the same stuff, which is we help people save money on equipment. We help people save money on supplies. We use technology to do it, and we just use market dynamics, supply and demand. We increase demand artificially by collecting all of your demand. We get better pricing because of it. That's how we get like pricing.
Love it. Yes. And love what you guys are doing. Melanie, you're an awesome family. Hope to see you in Philly soon. Thanks so much for being a sponsor of the group.
Of course. Thank you, everybody. Take care.